Hey everyone, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Normandy line from Micro Art Studio. This is 15 millimeters, so it's applicable for Flames of War and even Team Yankee. But they advertise it for World War II. Now I've already reviewed some of the stuff that they released previously. You may have seen a video where I looked at this or seen these cool buildings in a battle report, but they offered to send me some more to review, and I was more than happy to. So just keep in mind that these were sent as review copies or samples. I did not pay for them, but you're still going to get my honest review on them as we look at it. So what did they send? What are we going to be looking at today? And building, we've got a couple of brick wall with gates. This is red. And a stone wall with gate. And this looks like it's the same exact thing, except with a different texture. So these walls, looking at the picture, we can kind of see, it looks like the wall's high enough to hide most of a tank. So we have those. Then we have a cowshed, which you can see the size here. Pretty decent sized building, but just a single building. Then we have a farmhouse with outbuildings, so we can kind of see those. One thing I do like is that they do offer you different doors. So you see like the green and the blue. In the previous ones that we built, those were options. So you could build it either way. So if you had two of these sets, you could, the buildings could still look different from one another because you could do different color window frames and doors and things like that. So that looks really cool. I like the more complicated roof. Oh, sorry about the light reflection there that they've got. And then over here, we've got some large buildings too. This is the homestead with stable. Doesn't look like there's any horses in here. But again, it looks like it's got a blue door option and a green door option. Very cool looking indeed. All right, let's open one of these up so you can see the quality of it. And then we'll come back and show you the assembled pieces. All right, so we've got this with instructions on the back. Looks pretty straightforward, and I did not have really any trouble with the first batch, so I'm imagining assembly's not going to be too complicated with this. And we see some of the quality. And this is obviously laser etched wood. I'm not sure what treatment they use. To get the, how they print the texture onto the wood, but there is a slight texture to it, which is nice. Let me see the other side. Roof, very nicely detailed too. See, even up close, it's not a low res or breaking up or anything. Looks really nice. And then we've got doors. Oh, okay. So this threw me the first couple of buildings I built. I didn't realize that there's a protective film over this. And I know looking at this now, it's kind of obvious, but there's actually a protective film. And I built my first house without taking this protective film off because I didn't realize it was on there. But basically it's like masking tape. And I was like, oh, I was wondering if their printer had run out of ink or something. It's like, certainly I didn't build anything wrong, but you can see that that's just protecting that piece there, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and assemble some of these, come back and show you the completed models with some final thoughts. We are back and we have constructed the buildings. Now about a couple of weeks have gone past since the original part of the review and unboxing, but it took me a while to get everything assembled, and now let's talk about what I did and the experience of building these models. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we have, we've got the farmhouse with outbuildings. That's these three. We have the brick wall, which is kind of obvious. We have the cow shed, which is this big, huge building here. And then we've got the, let's see, I think that's the farmhouse, no, homestead and stable, which are the ones with green. Okay, so building these is kind of what I mentioned before. I've already built some of these, so assembly is pretty straightforward. There are a lot of little tiny pieces on a lot of these, so it isn't super easy. Just knock them out real quick. I probably spent about an hour at least on each building, maybe less on these tiny ones. Putting it together, maybe a couple of hours putting together the brick walls. So not too crazy, but you know, it does require some modeling ability to assemble these buildings. The buildings themselves are actually really nice, and they come apart for playability. You know, you can have guys there, you can have guys there, you can have guys there. Now, one thing that I did note in my last review is these don't slot together quite as easily as, say, the Gale Force 9 ones. But I think you get a little bit more detail. So for something that's flat paneled assembly, by having raised like windowsills, raised shutters, sunken window frames, door detail, all of these things are three-dimensional, which goes a ways to hiding the fact that this is you know, a flat pack model, just flat pieces. The assembly was, like I said, pretty easy. Now this one was a kit by itself, and you can see it has like these columns that you build. I actually glued my doors shut. You could rely on these hinges and kind of open and close them, but I didn't like that. It wasn't completely reliable for me. You know, mostly they just kind of fall out of place. And then the inside of that. The floors on the inside are textured, but the walls are not. And this is the homestead and stable, so this would be the stable. And, oh yeah, there we go. You can see inside there, the walls are not textured, but the floor is. Probably get a lot of Team Yankee teams in there. And again, some of these roofs, you just got to be careful with them. They are a little bit more fiddly than the one-piece Gale Force 9 roofs, but you know, I think they look really good. Then we've got this building. This is the homestead, I'm sure. And again, it's modular. You can take it apart and get into all parts of it. Well, maybe. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the back. Now, building these models, again, you know, you got to have patience to get all these pieces on, but once you do, it looks really good. The brick walls, they're good. They are a little fiddly in not so much their construction. The construction was pretty straightforward, but in how you place them on the table. So they're meant to be modular, so you can take them apart and you know, build them however you want, really. But, and then it has a system of like a slot and a tab, which is supposed to go, you know, in like that. But there's really not any super hold on there. So you got to kind of slot it, set it down, and then kind of, hopefully you get the slotting right on this one. And then hopefully you can get the slotting right on the next one without messing up them becoming unslotted in the previous ones. And so you can build something really nice with that, but it is a little fiddly. And you know, if I'm on the tabletop, and let's say something that I always do because I'm a klutz, I'm grabbing something and I knock those over. Well, now I gotta figure out how to get everything back, and it's not the easiest. But as you could see, it's doable. As far as the height of these walls for playability, I think it's pretty interesting. Let me lower the camera so we can see that the wall completely hides the infantry. A tank, you can see the turret. So this is a Sherman. Tank smaller than a Sherman might have a little bit of trouble seeing over the wall. So that you know, that makes it pretty interesting. Most of these gates you can pretend that they're open or closed. You know, a Sherman's going to fit through there. I'm not sure if a Tiger would. But that's why they have cross-checks in the game, to drive over the wall. So overall, yeah, these were pretty fun to build. They're usually relaxing. I would spend maybe 20, 30 minutes every night just kind of assembling. And overall, it's really good. So I'm really glad to add this to my collection. This has pretty much replaced, at least in Normandy, all of my buildings. And I use these now exclusively for any kind of D-Day, you know, France type themed gaming for Flames of War and Team Yankee too. I've used these for Team Yankee games. So there you go. To give you an idea though of the cost, so let's start with the brick wall. Now these are euros, but the brick wall set cost like 22 euros, which comes to like $23. So the wall set is, you know, it's pretty pricey. But you do get a lot of pieces, basically like 4 long pieces, 4 short pieces, 4 gates, 4 doorways, which is kind of cool. Different colors. So that one is, like I said, about 23 US. The large farmhouse, this one is running you, survey says, oh sorry, it's not a farmhouse, it's a cow shed, so you keep your cows in there. That one is also like about $23 US. Same price as the walls, and it comes in the same smaller flat pack. Then you have this set, which I really like. This one is the farmhouse and outbuildings. So you have the farmhouse and the outbuildings. Again, I like the different shapes on the roof here. This one will set you back 30 euros, or about 31 or 32 US dollars. And then this one, we've got the homestead and stable. These run 25 euros, or about 26, something like that, US dollars. So yeah, I mean, they're not budget by any stretch of the imagination pieces. They are quality terrain pieces you're going to put on your board, and as a result, you're paying a price for that. Whether you want to pay that or not is kind of up to you. I really enjoy them. I think they're really good. I probably would add them to my battlefield. I am thinking about doing more into bolt action, and I do know that they make a lot of these same kits in bolt action scale, 28 millimeter. But I can't imagine how expensive those are. But those might be fun too. All right, guys, there you go. That's a look at the Micro Arts Studio buildings. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed getting to play with these. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you like our content, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. Click that bell to receive notification when we release new content. You can also check out our Patreon, where we have battle reports for Flames of War and Team Yankee, as well as our YouTube membership page, where we have early access and other goodies. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.